Hello, good evening everybody. Welcome to my next episode about Chopin Mazurkas. Today, Mazurka C major, opus 33, number 2. The C major key is, as you know, like a mother of all keys. We have no black keys, it's very simple, and apparently it's not very common. Composers, they don't really like to use C major because the sound, the sonority of C major is very, well, empty. It's very hard to write a profound piece in C major. And well, of course, Bach was great and he could write everything he wrote was profound, so in C major as well. But well, Chopin didn't write a lot of pieces in C major. But well, about this mazurka, we have a very funny story. Story written by Wilhelm von Lenz, which was the student of Chopin, and I just want to read it for you now. And then we talk a little bit about this. Wilhelm von Lenz writes as follows. During one of my lessons with Chopin, Meyerbeer made his appearance. Meyerbeer was a French composer. Mostly he composed operas. Okay. I was just playing the Mazurka in C major. Meyerbeer sat down and Chopin told me to continue. This is in 2/4 time, Meyerbeer said. Chopin contradicted him, told me to start again, and kept time by loudly tapping a pencil against the piano top. 2/4, Meyerbeer repeated calmly. This was the only occasion when I saw Chopin lose his temper. It's in 3/4, he raised his voice, although it was his custom to speak softly. Lend me this theme for the ballet in my opera, The African, written in secret, continued Meyerbeer, and I shall prove it to you that it's 2/4. It is in 3/4, reiterated Chopin, almost shouting, and played himself. He performed the mazurka several times, counting loudly and keeping time with his foot. He lost all control. To no avail. Meyerbeer insisted on 2/4. They parted in an irritated mood. Chopin disappeared in his study without bidding me goodbye. The whole situation lasted barely several minutes. Nonetheless, it was Chopin who was right. Despite the fact that the third value is swallowed in the above theme, it does not cease existing. So, well, I think this story tells us a lot. First of all, for me, strange is that Meyerbeer is coming to a lesson, and well, it doesn't disturb Chopin and the student. You know, it means that it was common. It was a common thing that somebody came to during Chopin's lesson, and nothing happened. You know, so he sat down and listened, and Chopin continued teaching. So in some cases, some teachers they hate this. For example, my former teacher in my music academy in Katowice, it was absolutely impossible that somebody came and entered the classroom during the lesson. Oh my God, he got so angry. So that was absolutely. The time was precious. It was only me and him, and that's all. But I also know some teachers, for them there was not a problem. Well, so we can imagine that very often, probably it happened very often that somebody came, and we can imagine, I don't know, Franz Liszt came for a lesson and sit down and listen. Well, with Franz Liszt, probably it would never happen because the student got so nervous that would hide under the piano, and there would be no way to take him out and play for Liszt and Chopin together. Can you imagine play for those two? Well, I can't. Anyway, but so this is the first situation. The second situation, Meyerbeer is sitting and listening to the lesson. So every normal person would just shut up. No, he say this is 2/4. So he interrupts the lesson. This is rude, right? And then the conversation starts, and Chopin gets pissed off. And well, I cannot imagine Chopin pissed off, but everybody can, right? And in this case, it was about Polish folk melodies, which the French couldn't understand. That's why Chopin got so frustrated, I think. Now, well, let's listen to this mazurka first, played in 2/4. How would it sound? Well, first of all, well, now we come to the point which I love to talk about. Chopin competition. And the question, would Chopin be able to win Chopin competition if it was possible for Chopin to play? In my humble opinion, never. And this is one of the examples. Well, I bet that if any pianist would dare to play this mazurka, swallowing the 3 and playing it on 2/4, he would be kicked out, and all the jury members and critics, they would just destroy this pianist. How can he play on 2/4 when it's written on 3/4 and it must be played on 3/4? Well, this what I read for you make us think that Chopin didn't play the way he wrote, and we can be more free than we think we can be. It's extremely inspiring for me, and it gives me more well, it makes me more brave, I would say, to rediscover and reinterpret some of the pieces the way I feel that Chopin could hear them inside himself. Because of course this is the first thing. We must be sure that we have to know why we are doing something like that. So now let's listen, because I'm sure you are very curious how it could sound. Well, to swallow 3, that sounds like this. Well, a little bit funny, right? We can do it even a little bit slower. Let's count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, that's probably how it could sound. Another option, but it sounds very strange, but who knows, is playing it like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But we completely changed the rhythm, but who knows? But I think it was probably the first option. Well, this, in general, this is a kujawiak, so it's a Polish slow dance, slow folk dance, and this is, you know, there was a French singer, Chopin's friend, Pauline Viardot, and she put the text on some of Chopin's mazurkas and was singing them. And this was one of the mazurkas that she was singing. And she made a lullaby out of this mazurka. So in her interpretation, the mazurka probably sounds like a lullaby, so very slow. We can imagine her singing. Well, why the lullaby? Because this melody is waving. Can you hear the waves? We go up and down, and up and down. A very typical waving up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and then we have the part B, which is very typical dance. Listen to the left hand. Yeah, the very typical Mazur rhythm, right? And the right hand has still the Kujawiak rhythm. This is a very important to understand because we cannot play it too fast. Kujawiak is without the dotted rhythm. So we have ta-ta-tam pam, ta-ta-tam pam. If it were Mazur, we would have then we can go faster, we can play very lightly, very happy and so on. And we can wait on 3. So we cannot do this here because we have very smooth rhythm. So rather and then I want to show you the way it's written because it's a genius way. How the melody is written. The melody starts. It's alone. It's just simple melody without any other voices. So she is singing alone. Like a question and an answer. And then now here he is coming, so another voice is coming under and is enriching the melody, singing together with her. And this is a life-changing experience because after that this melody is never the same. So it's like a man appears in the life of woman and he is changing her life forever. This is like a symbol, right? A very beautiful symbol. So he is coming, and then we have they playing together. The second phrase, right? But the very interesting thing is how they play. They are not completely singing exactly the same melody. I'm talking about the second phrase. Because she is singing like this. So, up, down, and up. He is singing like this. So, up, down, down. Up, down, down. She's singing up, down, up. And together. Fantastic, right? And then the second phrase. Up, up, up. And then she is singing up and he's singing down. So it's not so simple. It's more sophisticated. And then they agree. And then we have something very, very beautiful. She is singing. And then he is answering, but he is under. So the pianist should emphasize the down voice. Then we have this beautiful dialogue when she, again. And he. And then then we have coming back to the first, and it's the most magic moment in this mazurka. I love this moment. From A flat major we come to the C major by playing the G major. I know it's, if you are not a musician now, you don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm talking about Chopin using the key which completely doesn't suit in this part, but this is the beauty. Something that completely doesn't suit but is beautiful. Like very beautiful flower in the desert, for example. Listen, I mean, we have everything ends like this, like a cute little story, like a dream. And then we have the next mazurka, which is probably one of the most famous. And I'm going to talk about it next week. So stay tuned, and thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.